CNN's Chris Cuomo was left speechless after this Trump staffer said the last two words Cuomo, I would assume, didn't want to hear. CNN is at the forefront of the fake news narrative against President Trump and his administration, and they can't seem to listen to facts and instead like to pretend that their unnamed sources and fake stories without evidence are just that, fact. That was exactly the case for CNN host Chris Cuomo, as he had deputy advisor to President Trump, Dr. Gorka, on his show to talk about the travel ban that is being put forward yet again. Dr. Gorka was instrumental in drafting the travel ban and, of course, knows much more about the subject than Cuomo. As Cuomo said, "No, you tell me. I want to give you the opportunity to lay out. Go ahead, assume I know nothing." And that's exactly what Gorka did, as he not only shut down all of Cuomo's lies, but also left him with two words from his nightmares, fake news. Cuomo tried to lay out the difference between Obama's identification of the most terrorist risk countries in the world and what he and the rest of the mainstream media claim is a ban on Muslims. Gorka's response: he asked Cuomo to tell him what the most populous Muslim country was and the most populous Arab country. Cuomo tried to play coy like he didn't know, and then Gorka hit him with the knockout punch. Indonesia is the most populous Muslim country, and Egypt is the most populous Arab country. And Gorka's point was that if the travel ban was a ban on Muslims, then why aren't either of those countries listed? Cuomo's response? Silence. Time and time again, CNN is shown to be propagating fake news and narratives, and time again, the Trump administration makes them eat their words. Let's take a quick listen here, and you'll see what's going on with this.
Who it targets, how it targets them, and whether or not that is what will keep us safe. And you guys played games about it and said it's not a ban. I could play you Sean Spicer right now, but you know it's true. And then the president decides to be honest about it this morning. That is spin. You are the purveyor of spin, because that was your message, that it wasn't a ban and it was untrue. That's why I'm asking you.
So I guess President Obama was also a purveyor of spin with that calculation, because the executive order is based upon the Obama White House analysis of the 7 nations of greatest concern for immigration into America. Well, is he a purveyor of spin, Chris?
Well, that's an interesting question, and while
isn't it?
And while I like that you must get away from President Trump and his policy as quickly as possible, and
not at all.
I'll blame Obama for everything. But if you look at that executive order, I'm sure you would, and eloquently so. However, the facts are not your friend here, because that move with the executive order from the Obama administration was about travel to those countries. It was about who's coming in and out and why. Your order is about Muslims, about targeting Muslims and keeping them out and allowing those who are not Muslim a carve-out to come in. Very different.
Let's do a little bit of a 101. Let's do a little Trivial Pursuit. What is the most populous Muslim nation in the world, Chris?
You tell me. These are your answers.
No, you tell me. What is the biggest Muslim nation in the world?
No, you tell me. I want to give you the opportunity to lay it out. Go ahead.
If you don't
assume I know nothing.
Indonesia.
Go ahead.
It's Indonesia.
Right.
I will assume you know nothing. What's the largest Arab nation in the world?
You tell me.
Egypt. Okay? So if this had anything, and I mean anything, to do with race or religion, why would those two nations, the most populous Muslim nation and the most populous Arab nation, not be included on the executive order? Explain that logic to me, because this is where your spin fails. This is where the fake news propaganda collapses, because if we had some dark, dread, ulterior motive, then those are the 2 first nations you would put on the list, not the 7 nations that the Obama White House identified as greatest concern.
Well, first
so please answer that question.
I will. First, What the Obama administration did was target travel from places that were known as hubs for terror. And that's different than what you're doing because you're targeting nationality. You could add Saudi Arabia to your list. 15 of the hijackers came from there. They're not on your list. There's speculation as to why. But instead of looking at who you didn't involve, you must look for legal and policy purposes at who you did involve. And those countries are all Muslim majority. You did a carve out for non-Muslims, and that's why it got struck down originally, allegedly recognized as being overreaching by people like you, which is why you drafted a second one, which the president said he authorized and approved of, and is now before the courts for scrutiny. So the intention is clear that you wanted to target Muslims from those places. I see that you're a little slow to want to own that.
No, I'm still waiting for you to answer why we didn't include Indonesia and Egypt. You still haven't answered the question. If it was...
You see, I'm still waiting for you to answer the question. Unbelievable. But I just can't understand why. Look at how they attack. Why weren't they attacking Obama's policies on any level? It's just incredible how these people are. That's why I don't even bother watching the news. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching.